What happens when you consistently max out your Roth IRA for nearly a decade? That's exactly what we did. We maxed out our Roth IRAs as early as we could and did so for 9 years. In this video, I'll share why we chose this strategy, what makes the Roth IRA such a powerful wealth building tool, what we learned along the way, and perhaps most importantly, what happened to our investments after all those years of steady contributions. Did the seemingly small investments amount to anything? The results surprised even us. We've always been what people call super savers. We learned about compound interest early and started investing at the age of 22. Even when our contributions were tiny, we consistently invested. As our careers progressed, we steadily increased our savings rate, eventually setting aside more than 50% of our income. Saving wasn't just something we did, it became part of our identity. Friends still know us as the money nerds. But out of all of the accounts we invested in, the one that stood out from the start is the Roth IRA. So what is a Roth IRA and why do so many people love it? A Roth IRA is an individual retirement account funded with after-tax dollars. The investments inside it then grow tax-free. And when you reach retirement age, qualified withdrawals are completely tax-free, including all the gains. Unlike pre-tax accounts that reduce your taxable income today, with a Roth IRA, you pay taxes upfront on your contributions. After that, you never pay taxes again, not on the growth and not on the withdrawals in retirement. If it sounds too good to be true, it almost is. That's why the government places limits on Roth IRAs. For 2025, you can only contribute up to $7,000 annually, and income eligibility phases out starting at $150,000 for individuals or $236,000 for married couples filing jointly. That combination of flexibility and long-term tax advantages makes it one of the most powerful accounts for building wealth, especially if you start early and contribute consistently. From the beginning, we made the Roth IRA a cornerstone of our investing plan. I recently analyzed our Roth IRA contributions across our 16-year investing journey. During this entire period, we contributed $149,000 total to our combined Roth IRAs over 11 different years. We managed to reach the annual contribution limit for 9 of those years. Our first fully maxed out year was in 2011, just 2 years after college graduation. At the time, the contribution limit was just $5,000 per person. Looking at our contributions over those 11 years, you'll notice significant spikes during certain periods. These occurred when I had access to a Roth 401k through my employer. For 4 years, I contributed to this Roth 401k, which was later rolled into my Roth IRA after I left the company. For full transparency, I contributed approximately $42,000 to the Roth 401k over 4 years. This amount is already included in our total contribution figure of $149,000. So what happened to that money? Today, our combined Roth IRA balances total $501,000. That means our contributions have more than tripled, and every penny of that growth is tax-free. This didn't happen overnight. We simply invested steadily in low-cost index funds and let time and compounding growth do the heavy lifting for us. Some years, the market was up. Some years, it was down, but we kept contributing and staying the course. But in just 14 years since making our first contribution to our Roth IRA, we have more than $500,000 in the Roth IRAs. And we didn't even max out the contributions every year. That is absolutely incredible and is actual proof that small and consistent efforts can add up over time. This investing balance is not just a number on a screen. It represents real possibilities for our future, both in the near term and future retirement. Having a large portion of our retirement assets in tax-free accounts gives us options that we might not otherwise have. That's the benefit of the Roth IRA. It can help you fund a traditional retirement period with huge tax flexibility, and it can also help you fund early retirement or a phased approach like semi-retirement or a coast-fi lifestyle. If you followed this channel for a long period of time, you will know that my husband and I have taken an unconventional path to our finances. We've embraced a concept known as coast-fi, where we completely stopped saving for retirement 2.5 years ago at the age of 35. We were able to front load our retirement savings early in our careers. Using some basic assumptions, we were able to confirm that we have more than enough saved for retirement. Without making another contribution, the amount we've already invested will grow to fund our future retirement. We calculated all this using our coast-fi calculator. If you haven't run these numbers for yourself yet, I'll include a link to the free calculator in the description below. Download it to see exactly where you stand on your financial journey. And by lowering our savings rate from over 50% to 0, we were able to transition to self-employment and gain a lot more freedom and flexibility in our daily lives. Not in some distant future, but now in our mid-30s. By not having to earn as much money, we're able to prioritize travel, outdoor adventure, and doing work that we enjoy. But we don't plan to work forever. With our investments continuing to grow, we've come to recognize that we won't need to work for all that much longer. We're approaching financial independence and are getting there much faster than we thought we ever would. But instead of a traditional retirement plan or even early retirement, we're now planning to pursue a semi-retirement approach where we cover our living expenses with a combination of active and investment income. That's where the Roth IRA comes in. The Roth IRA not only provides tax flexibility for a traditional retirement, it also allows you to withdraw all of your contributions for any reason, tax-free and without penalties. This means that the $149,000 in total contributions can be withdrawn at any time well before age 59.5 to cover our expenses. Our Roth IRA contributions, in addition to funds in our taxable brokerage account, will be used between now and age 59.5 to cover a portion of our annual expenses. This is why investing in your Roth IRA matters so much. It can provide tax flexibility in a traditional retirement phase, while also providing the liquidity you need to fund early retirement or ease into a retirement with a semi-retired approach. Looking back on more than a decade of Roth IRA contributions, a few lessons stand out. First, consistency beats perfection. It didn't matter if the market was up, down, or flat. The biggest wins came from showing up every year and letting compound growth do its work. If you looked closely at our contributions, you will know that we missed maxing out our Roth IRAs for 2 of the 11 years that we made contributions. This was around the time we were buying our first home and needed every extra dollar for the down payment and closing costs. We still contributed something, but not nearly as much as before and after this period. After things settled back down, we went back to maxing out our Roth IRAs and continued to do so until we were no longer eligible, or like now, when we've stopped investing altogether. You don't have to max out your Roth every year, just invest something, and if you can afford to max it out, even better. The second lesson is that taxes matter a lot. The Roth IRA's tax-free growth is a huge advantage. We've already paid taxes on the contributions, so future withdrawals won't increase our taxable income. That flexibility will benefit us for decades, as I mentioned earlier. But not only is it giving us a bucket of tax-free money, it will also allow us to pay less or no taxes on the other pre-tax funds we have invested. So it's not just paying 0% tax on one bucket, it's bringing the tax rate of the other bucket down as well. With about 45% of our investments in Roth accounts and 45% in pre-tax accounts, we'll be able to pull from both account types and do so strategically to keep our effective tax rate as low as possible. Let me walk you through a really basic example. Let's fast forward to when we're 60. If we need to cover $60,000 of expenses in a year when we have no other active income, we will have flexibility in which tax-advantaged accounts to pull from. Let's ignore our taxable account for a minute. In this example, we would have 3 different options. Option 1 would be to pull all funds from a pre-tax account. Option 2 would be the other extreme, with pulling all funds from our Roth accounts. Or option 3 would be to pull some from both. Option 1 has us paying the most in taxes. Using the 2025 tax rates, we pay approximately $3,200 in federal taxes with an effective tax rate of 5.4%. For option 2, we'd pay $0 in federal taxes because, again, all withdrawals are tax-free. With option 3, if we were to split it 50-50 and withdraw $30,000 from Roth and $30,000 from pre-tax, we'd pay only $80 in federal taxes. Pretty much as close to zero as you can get without paying $0. By using a combination of the 2 accounts, we'll be able to significantly lower our tax rate for all of our investments. This is in thanks to marginal tax brackets and the large standard deduction. Those who have not invested in Roth accounts won't have the same flexibility. Last but not least, the earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Even modest contributions in the early years have an outsized impact later. We have $500,000 in our Roth accounts today at age 38. If we don't touch these accounts for 22 years until we're 60 years old, we will have approximately $1.8 to $2.2 million in those accounts, assuming a 6 to 7% real return rate. Even if we were to withdraw all $150,000 of the contributions today and leave the other $35,000 untouched for 22 years, we'd have approximately $1.25 to $1.55 million in those accounts. The earlier you start, the greater the impact. If you take one thing from our experience, let it be this. Building wealth doesn't have to be complicated. Maxing out a Roth IRA year after year, combined with patient, long-term investing, can quietly transform your financial future. And if you want to learn more about semi-retirement and why we're so excited about this approach for our future, check out this video on semi-retirement. And as always, thanks for watching and enjoy the journey.